Scientists are looking into the hormone oxytocin to see whether or not it could have any impact on monogamy. So this is a very interesting story because they noticed that this is the hormone that your body releases during certain lovely periods of time. So for instance, when you're having sex, your brain releases oxytocin.
I'm in favor of oxytocin.
When you're cuddling with your loved one, your brain also releases it. So scientists in Germany wanted to see if oxytocin would make men more monogamous if they got sprayed with a substance that had oxytocin in it.
There's no way it's going to make you monogamous. Like, what kind of drug they give you, and you're like, all of a sudden, I'm only into my wife. Like, that's great, God bless. Okay, fine, that could happen, but not through a drug.
Okay, so before I get into the details of this study, let me be 100% clear about something. This is based on self-reporting, right? Mm-hmm. Because these men are standing in a room with a bunch of scientists and everyone knows they're in a monogamous relationship, and how they respond could lead to some judgment by their significant other. Right. Okay, so I think that that's a flaw in the study, okay? That at least those are my thoughts. But what they did is they had two groups of men, right? So they had the monogamous men that took a nasal spray that had the hormone in it, and then another group of men that took a placebo. Mm-hmm. And what they found was, so men in relationships who got the oxytocin stayed 28 to 30 inches away from the attractive women. Single men and placebo receivers were about 20 to 24 inches away from the women. So they allowed attractive women to come closer to them. And they were fine with it. Now, it was based on self-reporting. So as the attractive woman comes closer to you, you state whether or not you're a little uncomfortable or if you're okay with it, mm-hmm. right? And for the men who took the oxytocin, they were more likely to say, I'm getting a little uncomfortable.
Right. So I don't know if the study proves it or anything, but it's interesting.
It's interesting,
right? So if there's some chance that it's right, you know, I'm amending my statement. So I wouldn't take it because I don't want to accidentally neuter my balls or anything.
By
right?
the way, okay. no one's taking anything. I mean, no one has proposed a drug or anything like that. They're just trying to see
keep it real. Okay.
how this.
Your wife's going to slip it into your drink. Let's keep it real. Okay.
It's not on the market. Okay.
But it's gonna be. It's gonna be.
It might be. Pharmaceutical companies will probably try to snatch this thing up.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
But let me just state, it's interesting because they're trying to look into how this certain hormone impacts your behavior, and that's fascinating. I love knowing how hormones impact your behavior, like cortisol. Cortisol makes you eat like a mofo because it's the stress hormone, right?
That's interesting. Let's go back to the sex thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I amend my statement because, you know, if there's a really hot chick and she's into me, which doesn't happen often, I don't want to cheat on my wife. And I wouldn't normally take this thing, but let's assume the pharmaceutical companies came in and made a drug.
Okay.
Like, if it was a kind of a dangerous situation, then I can see how I'd be like, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I assume you take it nasally. I don't know why.
Well, they did the nasal spray in the study.
Okay, and then I could kind of back away, 28 inches. I'm cool, dog. I'm cool. So it might help out. I can see it. Mm-hmm. So it's funny because I do that without the oxytocin. Oxytocin, mm-hmm. Okay? Ever since I got married, I turned my flirting gene switch off, mm-hmm. Okay? Mm-hmm. If I turn it back on, it's dangerous. Okay, so I do it on purpose. So I stay 28 inches away from women. I know I could flirt, whatever. Uh-huh. My wife's not around, whatever. It's a different city. It's this city. Doesn't matter. I flat out don't do it. And I'm not saying I'd be successful, but I know how to flirt because I know how to talk, right? So, I oxytocin myself. I'm like, turn it off. Because you know why? I don't want drama.
Yeah. If there was anyone on the planet who has no time for drama, it would be Jake.
Oh, definitely.
He doesn't even sleep.
Can you imagine a mistress and then you got to go see her too? Oh, what an enormous pain in the ass. There's no way I would do that.
Right.
Oh, and then you got to figure out if she wants flowers. Oh, for Christ's sake. Oh, no way. Where's the oxytocin?